you!
Yes, you! If you like what you see, please hit the like, subscribe, share button, click the bell to all notifications on if you want to know every single time I upload. I play video games, I do funny videos, I am an absolute crazy ranting crazy person. Please share to Twitter, Facebook, Blogger. I still don't know what the crap Blogger is. And enjoy the video. Doctor Who Cares Anymore laying it on thick with the Wokemon pronoun crowd. Hello everyone, I am MechaRandom42, the one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube consumer advocate, harpy, probably an alien observer to your world, for all we know. Now, we are talking today about probably the worst addition to Doctor Who I've ever seen, somebody who will be forever known as the female Doctor for Doctor Who, which is something that no woman in their right mind would actually want. Seriously, you don't want to be known as the chick version of something. You want your own identity. You don't want to be known as the chick version of the Doctor. You don't want to be going into these things. You don't want to be going into a giant game of... Seriously, nobody wants to be going into a giant game of... Wokemon, just to be collected, like you're a Squirtle or something, for crying out loud. This is one of my problems with today's thing, is that nobody is an individual, nobody can do anything without a label. And what does that do? That forces a lot of people out of the closet, which they normally wouldn't want to be, if they don't want to be. And you know what, if you don't want to be, that's okay too. Nobody's forcing anybody, except for these new crazy people, you know, the wackadoos. I gotta snap it in, and I don't want to snap it in because I saw this article, and I know you guys probably saw this article too. You know what? Maybe this article is going to deserve the theme music after all. Oh yeah. No, cut it. No, I don't think I'm angry. I think this is just more funny. This is just more. Seriously. You gotta go and appeal to that crowd so much right now because what? Didn't they push Doctor Who back another year or so because of you know what, the thing that nobody can film anything right now anyway? And wouldn't this crowd be very, very upset by the TARDIS? It is, after all, a police box, isn't it? And your little companion, yes. What does she do? She goes around being she was a police officer. Yes, she was. So when you see this type of stuff, this is just to distract the little outrage mob. It's to distract those people and to appeal to them and say, oh, no, ignore the other thing that you're upset with us for doing. Here's the thing you want to talk about. Here's the labels. Here's all the Wokemon stuff that you guys like so much. Here's all that. Doctor Who's Jodie Whittaker was raised as gender neutral. I can't even say it. And you know what? No, you weren't. You were probably just a tomboy, like the rest of us, like most women who went through sort of this phase, you know, where you play with guys. I played with Star Wars stuff when I was a kid with my neighbors across the street. I remember this stuff. I played with Hot Wheels, Matchbox. I had all that stuff. I still have my Garbage Pail Kids. You're gonna have some girls who don't identify 100% with girly things. You don't need to label and separate because guess what? Sometimes it's just a phase. Sometimes people just want to be people and be left alone and not deal with this separatism stuff. Not deal with every little single label and having to figure out and identify which way the wind blows at every given time. Because what if you change your mind in a couple of minutes, right? What if in a couple of weeks you're like, you know what? Maybe I'm not attracted to this, or maybe I don't identify as that, or maybe I was wrong and I mislabeled myself as something else. And then guess what? You're gonna get canceled if you misidentify or misrepresent. And you know what? So stop with the label. Just stop. Maybe I do need the theme music. Should I snap it back in? I'm on a roll here. No, I'm not gonna start with the theme music. This is laughable. Come on, for crying out loud. In a recent interview with The Times, oh la-di-da, The Times, Doctor Who star Dr. Woke, Jodie Whittaker discussed her childhood. Well, seriously, do we even get to use those pronouns? What pronouns does she have in her bio? Am I going to get canceled for saying she when she's clearly being only trouted around, propped up as the first female Doctor? Female. So, you know what? Are you trying to downplay that right now? Are you just trying to downplay... Oh, and I forgot about this. She's also said that she was just an alien in a human body. No, it's not a human body. It's an alien body that looks... Did you not know any... It is not in a human body. You know... Do humans have two hearts. Do they? No, they don't. No, they don't. So is that in this article? I know it was in one of these, and it wasn't enough to make a full video on, but now I'm on a roll, and now we're on a rant. My brother and I were raised as gender neutral before it was even considered a thing. Is that just because your parents didn't make a big to-do and a fa-fa and a lottie freaking da about, oh, we're going to make you wear dresses and you wear all sports ball things? Is that it? And they just let you choose whatever you wanted, you know, like normal people, like anybody pretty much raised in the last 40 years. That's how it was until recently when everybody decided to, wait a minute, we got to separate, we got to label, we got to identify, we got to put everything under a freaking microscope and drive everybody absolutely neurotic to the point where they're crazy all the time and have to go around screaming like a bunch of Karens. That's what ends up happening. Why am I so hyper today? I'm sick today. I should be laying down. You know what? I might go and play some Fall Guys or something over on Twitch. If I do, then I can listen to whatever music I want. Definitely follow me. Random Game User 42 at twitch.tv. I think that's my Twitch handle. I do play games here too, though, so if you want to see some of that, I also rant about this stuff because it gets me crazy. We were given equal opportunities and thrown into the same activities. Our parents told us that our social skills in sports were just as important as academic results. They wanted me to be a well-rounded and able to have a proper conversation and have an inquisitive mind. So yeah, like a normal person. Because guess what? A lot of girls played soccer in the 90s. A lot of girls, even in the 80s probably. I wasn't really big into sports ball. I think I tried basketball for about a year. I didn't really like it. Not my thing. And that was okay, too. That's okay. You don't have to be that thing all the time. You weren't gender neutral. You were just kids. You were just kids treated as equals. And now they're getting rid of the equality, and I'm so tired of it. Here's why I start clapping. This is why I have the writing crop in the first place, so I don't clap like a crazy person, so I have some way for emphasis to know what I'm doing. In 2017, she became the 13th Doctor. No, she became the female Doctor. She is known as the female Doctor because that's all you market her as. That's all that's important is the dangly bits. That's the only thing anybody notices. And that's one of the problems, isn't it? That most of the time, a lot of the characters go around on the show not really caring or paying attention. And that was the beauty of it. You just know this is a weird person who's a little quirky, right? And that was why it works so well to have a male doctor, because you got somebody going around through time where it wouldn't be an issue, or at least not as much of an issue. It was somebody who was a lot easier to blend in. And you know what? As bad as a lot of people will tell you things were in the past, you kind of have to understand them to know what's happening in the future. For crying out loud, this gets so annoying and old. It's really old. It gets old. It's very, very old to me. And hopefully these lines aren't showing up on my final thing when I do my zooms. I'll just see. The fact that a woman is playing an alien over a man playing an alien is kind of irrelevant to the qualifications. It's playing an alien. And so the gender is irrelevant. Well, then stop making a big deal out of it. Stop making a big deal out of it. Stop telling us every second of the day what your pronouns. Because doing this just as a clickbait little hate click thing for going around to the people who have this mentality that they have to get upset with anybody who doesn't put a pronoun somewhere. That's why you're feeding into the negativity by mentioning it at all, by mentioning it, and the fact that you're saying, oh no, we're not mentioning it, you're still mentioning by saying it, not mentioning it, and I'm not making any more sense. I agree, the gender should be irrelevant, but you know what, when you're marketing it to today's identity politics people, that is all they see, that is all that matters, and that is all that anybody notices about this, because your acting and the writing, especially the writing, is not at a point where we can just ignore that, where it doesn't matter, where it is irrelevant, because you know what happens? You come in and you're like, oh, I had an upgrade. When people say, oh, I thought you used to be a man. That is the issue that we have with this. So you're preaching to the choir here. Maybe she's not to blame, like as an actress, but we're certainly seeing the media as somebody to blame in a lot of this. She went on to say, essentially, it's not a gender. The Doctor is a Time Lord, an alien with two hearts. Those things don't change. The body changes, and the body change between Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant and Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi. Obviously, it's the same gender, but it's a very different form. And I'm an extension of that change, but not a diversion from it. Well, that's what we were trying to go with, and you know what? It wouldn't have been an issue had they done it 20 years ago. Probably when they should have. They should have probably brought her back as a woman at some, maybe right after David Tennant, maybe before Matt Smith. I know there's a lot of people who really, really like the Matt Smith stuff. That's kind of where it started going downhill for me a little bit, because the Stephen Moffat writing, it was fine for coupling. It was really, really good for something like coupling. But not so much for me personally. But for me, I would have preferred more Mighty Boosh sort of writing. Garth Marenghi's Dark Place sort of writing. You know, some of the more weird stories that could be a little bit more funny and odd, especially once we started going more, oh, it's all about Clara's relationship and her talking down to the Doctor. Jodie Whittaker has often had to defend Doctor Who's choice of casting a woman for their latest Doctor, but thankfully, it seems like the silly backlash against Whittaker's casting has died down. Well, you know what you just did? You brought it all right back where I can bring out and point out, see, you're just doing it again. You're just going around saying, oh, gender neutral, just to appeal to the pronoun people. The people who put pronouns in their bios like we care, like we want to know what's between their legs. I don't. I certainly don't, because those are the people I never want to look at anyway. It's like people in a nudist colony. Those are also the people you don't want to see naked. It's like, those, it's the same mentality. It's the same thing. And don't you deny it. You guys know I'm right. This week, Whittaker was voted the second best Doctor in the show's history, narrowly losing to David Tennant by just 95 votes. Well, that's because most Doctor Who fans have already left the show and aren't voting and still caring about Doctor Who. You've got your diehards who still, like, I'll still touch on it from time to time, but I'm not out there looking and voting and participating in every little fan thing, because you know what? I was told it's not for me. No, it's for the new people. It's for the pronoun people. It's for those crowd. It's for that type of person. It's the same type of thing with Star Trek Discovery. If I don't like it, I can go and take it away, and I can...
Please like the video if you liked it. If you didn't like it, keep your comments to yourself.
You know that. Also, Brie bombing my video. Don't do that. That's the issue I have with this. Like, your bot accounts, your marketing accounts, who are programmed to like this because it is a woman. Just to prop up this agenda, this narrative. That what? You forgot female Time Lords actually existed? You forgot that, didn't you? Every single time. They always forget about this stuff. And you're not doing women any favors by doing this, you know? You're not doing women any favors by just making the chick version. Or, this is the same thing with Batman, isn't it? You got a Batwoman now. You got a female version of Iron Man who just basically steals his suit. You got female versions of Spider-Man. We don't need the chick version of the thing. Not everything needs to be a cinematic shared universe. Not everything needs to be a multiverse. Not everything needs to be a ginormous franchise. Sometimes you can keep it for your niche audience. Sometimes it's a niche of a niche of a niche for a reason. And yeah, Doctor Who exploded in the 2000s with popularity. More so than it ever has before. I'll acknowledge that. I was the nerd watching it on PBS in the 80s, right? I was that person watching, Tom Baker. I was that person. And I came back into it when Doctor Who came back, and it was really, really good. And then it started going downhill again. For me, anyway. And here we are last week. Doctor Who probably won't be returning. Now, this is a rumor due to the cough. According to The Express, Doctor Who's Christmas special for 2020 has already been filmed and is ready for broadcast. Now, that I've heard. I have heard that we're going to see... Because, I guess, remember how they ran out of Christmas special ideas? Yeah, they thought of some now. Probably grabbed some stuff from fans. The fluidity of the Doctor has been a part of the character for decades, a groundbreaking concept at the time. When Tom Baker, the fourth Doctor, left the part in 1980, he said, "I wish my successor, whoever he or she might be, the best of luck." We already established a lot of this in the 80s. Quit patting yourselves on the back for nothing. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I am MechaRandom42, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!
Beautiful! Stop it, 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 stop it.